Okay, so honestly, you guys, I did not think that I was going to be making this video ever. But there is a joke that says if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So apparently he had a nice chuckle at my plans because here we are making this video, and I have my handy dandy notebook that I got from, I think, TJ Maxx, but I picked it up like right after everything happened, and I was just kind of like, you know what, this is going to be my inspiration notebook. And while I've been going through, you know, life, God kind of spoke to me and put this subject on my heart. As you guys can tell, the topic of this video is 4 Christian tips for surviving a breakup. And like I said, I did not plan on making this video. If you're watching it, I'm pretty sure you didn't plan on watching this video. So thank you for watching. And I'm sorry that you are going through what you're going through, because trust me, it sucks. But you know what? We will get through it, and we're going to use these 4 tips to help us through it, because sometimes I have to remind myself, you know, it gets a little difficult, but you know, it's fine. We're going to make it through. Okay, so 4 Christian tips to surviving a breakup. Number 1 is to trust God's plan for your life. This honestly, like, this goes for every part of your life, but especially for like relationships, because I think sometimes we let outside pressures get to us and make us think that we have to do things by a certain time period. You know, like you need to be married by by the time you're 30, or you need to have kids by the time you're 35, or you'll never do any of these things. And I think that the most important thing is actually to trust God, because he already knows what he has planned for you. And if you have the desire to get married, more than likely, if he's giving you that desire, it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen on your timetable. It's going to happen on his timetable. So even though everything sucks, you have to trust God's plan for you, because this happened for a reason. Either he saw something down the road in this relationship going left, and so he stopped it before it got there, or there's something he needs you to work on, or maybe something he needs to work on your ex with. Maybe y'all get back together. Not gonna, you know, give you guys that hope, but you know, if you genuinely felt like maybe you guys are meant to be, it may just be that you need to separate so that God can work on each of you individually before he brings you back together. Because honestly, like, none of us are powerful enough to ruin God's plan for our life. You can choose not to follow it, but you know, ultimately, if you are, you know, determined to follow God's plan for your life, you're not powerful enough to ruin whatever it is he has planned for you. So just trust his plan and follow it. You know, depend on him, because he is the one that is going to, at the end of the day, make sure that you are where you need to go. And whatever he's teaching you in this season of your life, this singleness season, or this season of singleness, sorry, whatever he's teaching you right now, you're going to need it in this next season that he's about to bring you into. So you want to make sure you trust his plan, and you just embrace it. The second thing is to not question yourself. And this is something that I am so guilty of. For the longest time, I suffered from self-esteem issues. And I still have like some days when I just like, I question myself. But you have to trust that this happened for a reason. You guys breaking up was not because you weren't enough. And whether you broke up with him, or he broke up with you, or she broke up with you, or he broke up, whatever happened, it is not because you are not enough. That person was just not right for you in this time. And you are fearfully and wonderfully made. So trust me, God has the perfect person for you, and he's going to send that person in its right time. You'll find your relationship in the right time, but this is not the right time. So don't question yourself. Don't think, you know, I wasn't good enough for him, or I wasn't good enough for her, or why didn't this happen? You know, was I not pretty enough? Was I, you know, was my body not good enough? Like, you know how we do, okay? We get these ideas in our heads, and maybe if we had better clothes, or we wore more makeup, or we did this or we did that, we did something differently, things would have happened differently. And that's not true. If it was meant to be, it would be. If it's not meant to be, then it's not going to happen. So you can't force it, and thinking that there was something wrong with you that you could change to make it so isn't going to help. So just don't question yourself, okay? Trust. All right. Number 3 is to ask God what he's trying to teach you in this season. So the first instinct that we have when things happen like this is, and not just in this, like when breakups, but also, you know, if you get fired or someone dies or something happens that's traumatic, a lot of times our first instinct is, God, why are you punishing me? Why would you do this to me? Why is this happening? And the first instinct should actually be, God, what are you trying to teach me in this season? A quick story. Once when I was a little bit younger, I had this coworker, and she used to irritate my soul. Like, y'all, everything just irritated me. And I would pray about it, but I would still complain about it. I would pray about it and I would complain about it. And finally my sister looked at me one day and she was just like, why don't you ask God what it is he's trying to teach you from her and from this situation, and then maybe you'll learn something. You know, ask him what he's trying to teach you and learn something. Sorry, my phone is lighting up. But ask him what he's trying to teach you. And so I did. And you guys, that completely flipped the situation around. Like, I started learning things from her. She didn't bother me anymore. Like, it was literally a 180. And it wasn't because of anything that she had done. It was just my attitude about the entire situation had changed. And now I was more open to what she was trying to teach me and what God was trying to teach me through her. So you want to ask yourself, what is God trying to teach you right now? And ask him, and be open to whatever it is that he is speaking to you. Not necessarily through him, like he may speak to you himself directly, but he might also send people into your life to speak to you as well. So you want to be open to not everybody's advice, because everybody ain't gonna have good advice, but you do want to be open to godly advice to these people. Like, some of them are gonna say things that just like completely are off the wall, but some of it, if it agrees with something that you've heard before, more than likely it's God trying to reiterate something to you. So he's trying to teach you something, and the sooner you learn it, the sooner you get to the next level. So ask him what it is he's trying to teach you, and then listen to what he's trying to say. Okay? You can't just pray. You also have to be willing to listen to what he's trying to teach you, because listening to him is almost more important than praying. You know, like, because, you know, you can pray for something, but if you're not listening to what he's trying to tell you about it, he might be trying to say, listen, you praying that I'm gonna make Johnny a good husband. I'm trying to tell you, Johnny is not capable. Johnny is not your husband. Johnny ain't your husband. He is somebody else's husband. I got Bob over here for you, and Bob is going to be so much better than Johnny, okay? Like, Bob has 6 figures. He ain't got no kids. He ain't got no crazy exes. Like, he is perfect for you, and you over here asking me to pray and make Johnny right, and Johnny got 2 crazy baby mamas, 1 ex that tried to cut you, like all these other things. So you gotta listen. Don't pray for him to fix the situation. If, like, you have to listen to what he's trying to tell you about it, okay? That's what I meant to say in all of that, okay? So tip number 4 is to be patient. Like, really, really patient. Like, channel Job from the Bible. Another quick story time. When I was in college, we had to do this, it was a psychology class that I took, and we had to do we basically were given a list of like 20 things, and it was like career, family, religion, like all of these different things that you had to choose, and you had to circle 20 that were like your most important things to you. Then after that, you had to mark out 10 of them and go down to 10, and then you had to go down to 5, and then you had to go down to 3, and then the final, you had to choose like what your core value was. And for me, mine was actually religion. And so it came up, like, we were kind of debating our answers and trying to figure out, you know, why each person chose what they chose. And I decided to use Job as my example, because in the Bible, in the story of Job, everything was taken away from him. He lost his children, he lost his livelihood, his health, like everything. And even at the end of his life, you know, his wife basically was just like, you should curse the God that you serve and just die. And, you know, to me that spoke volumes, not necessarily about my family, but just about how sometimes the people that are closest to you, the people you think are going to be your ride or dies, sometimes they turn on you. They have other issues that they're dealing with themselves, but God never fails you. Like, he might not come through when you feel like he needs to be there, but he always comes in on time. Always on time. So for me, you know, it was easy to pick religion as my core value, because it's just like, when has he failed me? Like, when? You know? So think like Job. You've got to be patient. Again, a lot of times the outside world will try and stress you and tell you, if you're not married by 25, if you're not dating, something's wrong with you. If you don't have any kids by 26, something's wrong with you. You ain't ever messed up. Like, no, that is not true. And sometimes even your family will make you think something's wrong with you. Your friends, your co-workers, you know, your aunts and uncles, like, everybody has an opinion about why you're single, or why this didn't work out, why that didn't work out. And even we have our own pressures. Like, I know every time my birthday rolls around, I kind of get this like idea like, oh my gosh, I'm still single, you know, or I'm single again, or whatever it is. And I'm just like, maybe I'm just not meant to be married. Maybe this isn't this. Maybe, you know, maybe something's wrong. And I had to kind of like sit back and say, you know what, Patricia? No, this is not, it's God's plan. If you trust in God's plan, you don't have to worry about, well, am I going to be an old mom? Like, obviously he's going to give me the energy to match my children if he decides to put that on me in my 30s, okay? So I'm not going to stress about it right now. Like, would I like to have had a kid? Sometimes I think yes. Sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I am happy with where I'm at. I'm happy that I don't have to get up early and get kids ready, because I like my sleep. You know, I'm happy that I can spend money on makeup because I don't have field trips I have to pay for. Like, little things that I take for granted now, but when I'm listening to my coworkers, I think about it. I'm just like, you know what, God, I'm so thankful I don't have to deal with that right now. So you have to trust his plan and be patient. Don't try and rush your season of singleness, because I promise you, there are so many people that wish that they were still single, that they rushed into marriage, married the wrong person. Now they stay stuck there with somebody that they're not happy with, and they don't want to get a divorce. And it's just, you don't want to rush yourself, okay? Just personally, I don't want to rush myself. And honestly, if you talk to married couples, like, that will give you, not married couples, but like married women will give you the most insight, and married men, I guess, for the men who are watching this, will give you so much insight into relationships that you will think about it and be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. You know, I don't have that issue that you have. I'm sorry. You know, but I'm good. Not that I don't want to be married, but like, I remember doing a book club with a group of women and they were married. And to me, like, I always watch Hallmark movies and I always read romance novels. And those are dangerous because they put you in this idea that your relationships are going to be perfect and nobody's ever going to mess up and all these things that are completely false. And so in getting into that book club with these married women, it kind of helped me to see that, you know what? Marriages aren't perfect, you know, so me looking for this Prince Charming, I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life if I'm looking for Prince Charming, because he doesn't exist. So I need to be honest with myself. I need to be realistic about my goals. And really and truly, like, at this point, I've stopped putting an idea of what I think I want to marry in my head. Like, I don't have an idea of what he looks like or anything like that. Like, I'm just at the point that I'm trusting that God already knows what it is I need in a mate, and he's going to send me that person, and we're going to complement each other. We're going to help each other grow together in Christ, and that's all I need to worry about. I just need to focus on God, and he will send the right man when the time is right. But I've rambled enough. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I am praying for you. If you are watching this video, Lord, I pray that you will find healing. I pray that you will be strong and not fall back into patterns just because they're easy. I know it sucks right now. I promise you, I know exactly what you're going through. I do. But you have to, one of the core things that when we first broke up, God actually, like, he spoke to me. He was just like, focus on me. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about anything else. Focus on me. So maybe that should be your priority. Just focus on building your relationship with Christ. Focus on doing what it is you need to get closer to him. And just let the rest of it fall where it happens. Just let it fall where it may. So anyways, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to hit the little subscribe button. And I think that's everything I have for this video. So I will see you guys in my next one.